is up, guys? Pyratoad here. So today we are actually going to be rescaping my hermit crab's enclosure. Now some of y'all may know that I have hermit crabs, some of y'all may have no idea that I even had hermit crabs. I actually showed them on my reptile room tour, and that's about the most I've done filming with them. So I figured it'd be nice to film with them a little bit more. The only unfortunate thing is I had 5. Fortunately, one of the adults, one of the largest ones that I have, passed away. I'm not exactly sure why. It could have been old age, but they had salt water and fresh water. They were set up well, but unfortunately, one of them passed away. But the other 4 are going to be getting a completely new setup, maybe some extra plants, good stuff like that. So let's get started with today's video. So here's their current enclosure. It's a little bland, not the worst, but 2 hides. They dig in the substrate, so the sand at the deepest point is probably about 3 inches, because it goes all the way down to the bottom here. So one thing a subscriber recommended is that I add some sort of panels or something to help control humidity in the enclosure, because originally I didn't have any of these. It was a completely open top, and now that I have added these 2 like plastic panels, what these do is they can help control humidity. Now obviously I don't want to do that, but I can go like here. If I want to go here, I can take them off if I need to take them off, and that'll allow me to control the amount of humidity these guys have, which is very, very important with hermit crabs. So yeah, we're basically just going to take this outside, dump it off, rinse it off, clean out all the hides and all that good stuff, and just rescape it, make it look a little nicer. And yeah, guys, let's continue on. Alrighty, guys, so we just got done rinsing the enclosure there, and once again, they're in a 20-gallon long. So now it's nice, fresh, and clean, ready for some stuff to go inside. Since I'm going to be making this a bioactive enclosure, I have this Zilla Jungle Mix. I absolutely just love this freaking stuff. Zilla Jungle Mix is like the best substrate in the world. Personally, it goes well in so many different setups. You don't have to use it in a tropical environment. It holds humidity when you need it to, and it releases humidity when you don't want humidity. So I absolutely love this stuff. It's great for live plants. So I'm going to be using this with a little bit of sand and some leaf litter, along with our plants, of course. Now I'm going to be getting my plants from this enclosure here. This is a big old paludarium I built quite a while back. But I have tons of plants that I can take clippings off of, and even some full plants. Like this fern right here, I'm probably going to be using just to clear up some space. I got some plants further in the back that you can't really see. And then, of course, clippings from like these big plants and stuff like that. So eventually, over time, these plants will also help spread and take over the hermit crab enclosure. So next we have some leaf litter and some sphagnum moss. Now the reason we have that is that's going to go in and out of the substrate, and the reason we even have that there is because the springtails and isopods will eat off of that. As they eat that, that becomes poop, and that poop kind of becomes like fertilizer, or like a natural fertilizer for all the plants and stuff. So then our plants will grow stronger, happier, and healthier. Along with that, we've got a thing of pillow moss here. I've also got various pieces of cork and stuff like that. Like this I might add in there for a good climbing space. I've got other pieces of cork I might add. Just depends on what I think looks nice. Okay guys, so first we're going to be pouring the sand into the enclosure to create a bottom layer. And then we're going to add some substrate and then some more sand and then just mix it about. Okay guys, so we got some sand. Let's just take this little piece of plastic out of here. We don't want that in there. Just kind of spread it around the bottom. Obviously that looks very horrific because it's just sand and that's it. But now we're going to add some substrate and mix it about. Now we're just going to pour a heavy layer of jungle mix all across the bottom. We want it to come up to about here, if not a little bit more. So we want lots and lots of substrate. So we got our bag of jungle mix. We're just going to pour it all in. Pile it up and then we'll spread it out. Okay, now we got this giant mound. We're just gonna spread it around. That should be actually perfect amount. And then we're just gonna spread the sand around and kind of mix it up. Now as you can see, we got that sand in. It's got that white grainy texture, which is exactly what we want. Now we're gonna start decorating it, making it look how we're wanting it to look. So now as you can see, we've got our piece of cork in. We're gonna start adding our decor and our plants in where we want it and how we want it. Now we have this very tall fern, so I'm going to see if I can find a place for it. The only thing is, we do not want the hermit crabs climbing up on top of it to get out of the enclosure. Alright guys, this is what we have going on so far after about like 10-15 minutes. I've got this fern, which is a little skinny, a little thin, but over time when I water it more it should grow out and just pop out and start to cover more in the enclosure. Then we have their little cocoa hide kind of tucked away over there. I'm probably going to add another hide somewhere else. And of course, more plants. Alrighty. So after a few minutes of escaping and moving stuff around, I've got a picture that I'm starting to put together that I like a little bit more. Now it's not my perfect build, and it's kind of got a lot of open space, but over time these plants will take over. So I've got this fern right here that should help take over. I've got this guy right here, this clipping, that'll also once again take over. And then I have 3 other clippings. This vine-like clipping, some kind of like pothos, I'm not 100% sure on what the name of that plant is, and then some splash assortment plant right here. So all those will kind of take over and start to grow out over a few weeks and make the cage look a lot nicer. We also have that guy right there. So lots of plants, but a lot of them are really small, so over time, as I said, they'll grow out. Now I've got 2 hiding places. I've got this little cocoa hide that I moved around and this cork hide that goes all the way back there. So we've got 2 hiding places, and then of course their burrows. Now I've added their food and water bowls, so their water bowl's right there in that corner, and then their food bowl's right there. Now the good thing about their food bowl is it'll get covered by plants, so they'll be able to eat in privacy, and I think it'll be a lot more beneficial towards their health. Now I'm going to find a place for all these shells, because it's always good to have extra shells in a hermit crab's cage, because they can change from place to place where they want. It's kind of like how a person chooses their house. It's pretty much similar to that. Now we're going to take our leaf litter right here. Just going to take a handful or so and just dump it in there, and then we'll mix it about. So as I said, the reason why leaf litter is important is it makes food for the isopods and springtails, allowing them to flourish. And since they'll be flourishing, our plants will eventually flourish as well. Okay, I also have this seed pod here. I'm going to find this somewhere to go. The isopods and springtails will hide in and out of it, but the main reason I have it is just for decor. It just looks nice and it fits the tropical theme. Fun fact about this seed pod is this kind of seed pod actually comes off of magnolia trees. So, being that magnolia trees are in America, they're not necessarily a tropical tree, but it does look like a unique, interesting item you'd find in the rainforest. So we're going to put it in there anyway. Now I've also added patches of this live pillow moss. Cool thing about the pillow moss is once it's been sprayed down, along with the water bowl, the hermit crabs will also be able to drink off of this. So it should be just totally beneficial to have this in there. Okay, last but most certainly not least, the enclosure is done. But one key ingredient to having a bioactive enclosure is isopods and springtails. Now as you can see, this is my personal at-home culture of isopods and springtails. So you can see there are just hundreds and thousands of them running around. Now, you see this many on the top. There's probably like 500 at the top, if not more. But as you see, there's a little zebra isopod coming out right there. But you can only imagine how many are actually underneath all that substrate. So all this is going to go into that enclosure. So basically I'm going to take that little piece of cork. What I'll usually do when I need to introduce some new isopods and springtails, I'll take that piece of cork, because underneath there's usually like 500, and then I'll just dump it off into that cage. Alright, let's see how many are truly underneath this. There we go. So we're just going to take that and just tap them off. As you see, they kind of fell off. Look, there's isopods, there's millipedes, and there's springtails, all 3. So we want, boom. Now this is not harming them at all. All they're going to do is hit the leaf litter and they'll be perfectly fine. The cork piece is cleared off. All those millipedes are just going to go right back underneath, enjoy their lives. Now all they are fed are like carrots. I have some diets for them, so that's part of the reason why they're thriving so much. Isopods and springtails enjoy a good diet, and if you give them a good diet, they'll grow even stronger. So that maybe 200, 300 that you can see crawling around right there will eventually become 200, 300,000 in a year or so, and just completely just envelop this enclosure. So here we are with the cage completely done. The last little touch up we need to do is just spray it down. Now the interesting thing about this cage that I just like about it already is there are so many different species of plants. There are actually 7 species of plants in here, not including the moss. So we've got that guy right there, some of the vine, some of the pothos looking plant, some of the splash assortment, some of that guy, some of this guy, some of that guy. There's plants everywhere. But anyways, there's just a ton of plants in here. And as I said, all those will just start to cover the cage and make it like a living tropical rainforest. It'll be totally incredible, guys. But now, last little touch up when you do, just give it a good spray down. Our sprayer here just going to soak everything down. Everything is going to get water right now, especially because all these plants are going to go into shock. After being transported, they're all going to start drooping and looking like they're going to die. Some may even die. And if that does happen, it's completely alright. But it's simply because of the fact that I pulled them out of their original setups and now they're a totally new one. But of course, eventually they'll get used to it. Some will die, and some will completely grow in and thrive, and will be impossible to get out of the cage. So yeah, as I said, we're just gonna soak everything down. We want those springtails and isopods to get lots of water. Everything is gonna get lots and lots of water. Now, the lighting I have on them, typically I'd recommend a UVB or an LED light. Now this light right here is a simple LED light from Walmart. I seem to have much luck using LED lights from Walmart. I don't know why. So that's what I'm using right now. And then of course a regular reptile fixture. And with that much coverage, as you can see, everything is lit up here. All these plants should do pretty well. And then once I put on the top pieces to help hold humidity, everything is just going to thrive. This should be a great looking enclosure, to say the very least. Okay, now that their enclosure is set up, it's time to introduce the hermit crabs to their new home. So right here we've got this big boy. Right here, he is massive. I believe this is Ripper. I'm not 100% sure because it's hard to remember all 4 of their names. As you see, he would deliver a nasty pinch. But he's not too shy. Let's put him in his enclosure. There you go. Now another good thing I forgot to mention about the leaf litter is they'll actually eat that leaf litter. The hermit crabs love the leaf litter for some reason. I don't know what it is about it, but they love it. Next off we have this guy. He's newly molted. Guy or girl. Now I believe there's a mixture of species of hermit crabs. I don't believe that they're all Caribbean hermit crabs. I think they're different species from different places. Now if this guy will let go of me, he can go free into his new home. Now here's our third guy. He's outgrowing his shell, but he never wants to leave his shell for some reason, even though he's got plenty of choices. So he's going to go on in. And last, but most certainly not least, the runt, the little guy, Remy. He is an absolute adorable little baby. He's doing great, as you can see. Adorable little dude. I love this guy so much. So he's going to go into his enclosure along with all his buddies. So yeah, that's their whole enclosure. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, let me know down in the comment section below. Let me know if there's anything you think I should do differently or that I should add, because I will definitely look into that. All darting for their hide. But yeah, guys, that is their new enclosure. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Alrighty guys, well the hermit crab cage is officially done. As you can see, it looks nice. The hermit crabs are back here climbing on their cork and everything, taking advantage of everything that they have. But guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Now I really hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed that new hermit crab setup. It looks super dope. I'll let you know how the hermit crabs do. I'll let you know how the cage does in general. Everyone else is doing amazing. Mr. Iguana is still struggling with me, but it's only been about a week or so. So let me know if y'all have any care tips or taming tips, I should say, for taming iguanas, because iguanas can be a hassle to tame. So let me know if you have any specific tips or anything you'd recommend me trying. But otherwise, guys, that's been it for Pyrotoad. I hope y'all enjoyed. As I said, super dope builds. We're going to eventually, here in the next year or two, have every cage in this room on a bioactive setup with live plants, or at least isopods and springtails. I want every cage to be on a live setup. So let me know what y'all think about that. But otherwise, guys, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and the Reptile Room will see you all in the next one. Peace.